Hey everybody. So firstly, I have to be super transparent. So anyone that's kind of within my world knows that I'm a super sensitive person. I feel things very deeply. And I think everyone's feeling that at the moment. I think everyone, I know that we're just going through the winter equinox, I can never say it properly. And even that in itself, I've always been a believer in what you believe is right for you. And beliefs shape everything. We know that. We know that in so many different scientific studies. However, we know that at a core fundamental level. And that's something I wanted to speak to you about today. See, whenever the magic's happened in my life, and magic, whether you want to call it manifesting, just magnificent miracles kind of happening, miracles is a strong word. But whenever something's kind of just, I've had that quantum leap, when people talk about quantum leaps, it's always because I've been in the energy of I don't play by no one's rules but my own. And by that I mean it almost sounds a little bit okay, kind of, but actually that's where the magic's been. So the reason I got into love coaching, the reason I got really passionate about relationships is because no one had the relationship I wanted. No one around me had it. Family, friends, no one had it. People come a little bit close that were new in my life. But ultimately, throughout my lifetime, no one had the relationship. So if anyone knows me long enough, they'll know that I used to have a group that's called Your Life, Your Rules. I had one called Heartbreak to Happy, because it was always where I could see where I'd stumbled and I'd gone through so much pain and where I could fast track other people. And relationships were exactly that. Please don't think I don't remember. I mean, I have to think about it now because it's such a distant memory, into the whole being ghosted, the even down to the narcissism, the being abandoned, just upped and left one day. Like, if people don't know that story, you've not been following me for long enough. But the magic really happened when one, I got super happy with who I was, two, got super clear on what I wanted from life, and three, I played in my own arena. And there's something I want to share about that. If you're playing in your own arena, people aren't always going to like it. People are all for the underdog, they're not for the champion coming out. Have you ever seen that? Have you ever noticed that? So if you want to have an amazing relationship, and I'm going to give you a task here, what I want you to do is start playing by your own rules. And by that I mean is dream bigger in relationships. You don't want to settle for, I don't know, the person that goes to the pub all weekend, or you don't want to settle for the person that doesn't want to go on big holidays, or you don't want to settle for the person that doesn't want deep, meaningful conversations. You don't want the person that doesn't understand the actual importance of intimacy and being close with someone and really being seen and heard. Like, that's one of the big things that I talk my clients through is I'm not for strategy, and now I am, but I don't like it in the way that it's sold to you. It's in do this, and you'll get someone. No, I mean when you're fully in alignment with who you are and living life on your terms, the way you want to, you cannot help but be a magnet for the person that's right for you. Now I have to put a little what's the word I'm looking for? You put something in a clause, kind of in a contract. I do believe, and I heard this once by Gabby Bernstein, how do you know you've learned a lesson if the universe doesn't come around to test you one more time? And again, if you've been in my world long enough, you will know this story. But I 100% got tested just before I'd kind of made that big breakthrough. And I went on a date, and I just felt icky. I didn't feel right. I felt all those narcissistic pulls of over explaining yourself, being, and it was a huge test. It took me a couple of days to really shake the energy, but it was a huge test to be like, no, I've learned. I knew that was the wrong date. And even before that, they'd been on a date that I'd just been like, oh, he's really nice. No, it's just not for me. So the reason I'm getting about this is, and I will get to the bonus kind of exercises, if I could give you anything, and the one thing I love giving my clients is you make the rules on love. Not in a kind of nasty way, not in a disregarding other people's feelings way. What do you want from love deep down? And it's not about someone coming to save you. That's something I work on with my clients. I'm avid about my clients being very independent, not as in not needing somebody, not as in not having that person to rely on, especially if they're single mums. I'm very avid about being independent from the ex next person involved so you can really fully step into your power. It's about who do you want to be in a relationship rather than the insecure mess that goes in, rather than the person that doesn't know what they want. Because so often, if we don't know our end goal, how are we meant to get there? So let me say this really clearly. The biggest thing that changed for me, that changed the whole trajectory of my life, if I'm even saying that word properly, was playing by no one else's rules but my own. I knew what I wanted from a relationship, and I wasn't willing to settle for anything less. Not because I felt like I was better than other people, but because I knew my value and I knew where I wanted to go. And you know, it's the missing piece that so many women struggle with, because let's face it, we're programmed to believe that we have to be the good girl. We're programmed to believe that we have to put everyone else first. And I'm just not in for that. And I don't want you to be in for it either. So here's your exercise. Go and get a piece of paper. And this piece of paper isn't for anyone else to see. If you was in your most powerful state, if you were in the best place in your life, what partner would you want to come in? How would they be? We never put a face on it. How would they be? How would they be around your children if you've got children? How would they support you in your work or the things you wanted to achieve in life? How would they show up when you needed them the most? What would they not do? See, so many people to look at what they do want, but you don't look at what they don't want. So what do you not want from someone? You don't want someone that's going to ghost you. You don't want someone that's going to let you down. You don't want someone that's going to be condescending. You don't want somebody that's not going to support you in your dreams. And when you start looking at that exercise, here's the crucial point. Who are you in all of this? How do you act? What do you believe about yourself? What are your daily beliefs that you go around with? How do you walk? How do you look? And by how do you look, I don't mean as in the beauty factor. I mean, as how are you literally walking into a room? What are you wearing? See, everything's about identity, but so many people are scared to step into that next identity. But I don't want that to be you. Now, if you are ready, you would have heard me speak about Voxer Coaching. You would have heard about, maybe or not, that it ends this week. Voxer Coaching is only at this time the most ridiculous, cheap way to work with me and step into the self-development world and start healing those wounds. I am genuinely adoring Voxer Coaching. It's something that I wish I'd come up with so long ago, because it's having such incredible results, and also it's just so enjoyable. Like, there's so many big breakthroughs coming through and just so many great results. I also have some exciting news, which is nothing to do with the working with me, but the results that come from working with me. But it's not my time to share that yet. But I'm sending you all lots of love. Make no mistake about the magic that comes from you stepping in to being all of you. I'm sending you so much love. If you are ready to learn more about Voxer Coaching, click on the link below. You can also click a call with me. I don't work with anyone that I don't speak to, because I like to make sure we're a match for each other. So go and have a look at that if you're ready to really start transforming your love life, because if there's anything I know how to teach you to do, it's just that, to transform your love life. I'm sending you lots